Cold DMs are dead. Calendars don't fill themselves. In today's episode, we're going to talk about some creative ways to book some appointments. Let's go.
Let's go. I don't know what comes next, but I couldn't care less. I refuse to be stressed. There's no fear in my chest. Hear the boom from my stairs. Walk away from the pain I've been through. This feeling I'm feeling is brand new. This the moment I break through.
Welcome to 10-Minute Masterclass. I'm your host and lead MC, Trey Sheneman, and each week on 10-Minute Masterclass, it's our goal to be the weekly mic drop for business breakthrough. Now, we talk about business breakthrough through a framework we teach called the Core 4 Drivers of Growth. Those drivers are marketing, sales, operations, and leadership. And no matter whether I was running growth inside of some pretty well-known brands or taking my own companies to market like I'm doing right now with our firm, Herald, I have noted that over the years, growth always comes down to solving bottlenecks in those core 4 areas. Now, before we jump into today's episode and the core area we're going to talk about, which is sales, I've got an announcement to make. I mentioned it on the last episode, but 10-Minute Masterclass has a sponsor, and that sponsor is, drumroll please, Live Well Vacation Club. You can find out more about Live Well Vacation Club if you click on the link in the show notes. My wife and I are actually members of this vacation club. If you're an entrepreneur like us, if you homeschool your kids like we do, or if you're newlyweds or empty nesters or people that just aren't as dependent on the public school schedule, it's the best way to say it, to travel, and you have desire to go to really cool places like 30A in Florida or Vail or the Bahamas, I highly encourage you to check out Live Well. I don't know of a better option on the market. It's not a timeshare. As a matter of fact, it's like an anti-timeshare. John and the team down there, incredibly fun to work with. They take such great care of you. So go check them out. This is my plug. It is awesome. We pay for it. We love it. I think you'll love it too. All right, let's jump into today's content. So in the sales bucket, I want to be really clear. So in my 16, 17 years career, I have been a salesperson. I have been responsible for the growth, the business, what some might call like the business development side of the business, where I was the one closing the deals or leading the teams that were closing the deals. But outside of that actual phone-based or Zoom-based presentation-driven selling, consultative selling, I've also been a part of a ton of hyper-scale e-commerce funnels at this point, or subscription funnels, where the selling is actually done through landing pages and videos and advertising and things of that nature. So my plan today is to speak to those of you that are a little more in that first camp where you're doing appointment-based kind of presentation-driven selling. There will be some crossover principles in here today that I think will matter universally across the board. But specifically, I really want to just jump in to a thing. I'm on LinkedIn a lot. It's about the only social media channel that I participate in. I get DMs from the most random people all the time. I kind of just tune them out. I see a lot of content in my feeds because I've got a lot of sales and marketing pros kind of in my feeds because of some courses that I sell. So those people have come to me for training in this area. And I see this thread coming up all the time about cold DMs being dead. Now, I know I started the episode by saying and making that kind of blatant statement. And I do want to back it up as I say, for the most part, I think the traditional way people do the cold DM, the pitch slap, whatever you want to call it, really isn't working anymore. The spray and pray, it just doesn't scale at the end of the day. And the kind of big idea for today's episode before we jump into the framework is that appointments, booking appointments, they don't actually come from aggression. They come from alignment. Okay. Aligning the perspective problem of the ideal customer with what your value is that you bring to the table to solve it. When you can present that alignment well, you'll get appointments. So you got to keep in mind, just like you feel busy, you feel skeptical, you don't really love it when you just get some random cold message, everyone else doesn't either. So if this is your lot in life, if you're responsible for filling your own calendar, driving pipeline, closing deals, and you're booking appointments, I want to talk to you about how to do relevant personalization in DMs that will actually make a difference. And so I'm going to walk you through 5 creative appointment setting plays that I myself run in the past that we've got a sales guy on our team too, kind of stuff that he does. These are the things that I'm seeing work. Again, LinkedIn, other than customer referrals, where one of our customers refers another customer to us, outside of that, which is I think maybe 15% of our business, 85% of our revenue comes from our functional behavior on LinkedIn. Okay. So this is the channel that we live and breathe on every single day. And these kind of things that I'm going to share are what's working for us right now. So the first creative appointment setting technique is what I call want one. So want one is when you, instead of sending somebody a message to say book a call, you share with them a teardown or a case study or before and after carousel, some sort of piece of valuable content about someone you helped. And you say to them, want one of these, meaning like a copy of this lead magnet, a copy of this document, this thing that you made. Want one of these? DM me the word teardown. DM me the word audit. DM me the word before and after, the words before and after, whatever it is. Respond with that. It's almost like a reverse outreach where you're pulling them towards an item you believe they're going to see value in rather than pushing them, because you're just sending it to them and leaving it open-ended, and you do not respond until they do. Okay. So it's a little bit of like the reverse on that. Now, the second creative appointment setting technique is where you take that same kind of concept, but to a higher level. And I call it the Loom Bomb. So the idea of the Loom Bomb is Loom, if you don't know what Loom is, it's the 21st century. But Loom is a tool that allows you to screen share pretty much anything on the website, on your computer, on your screen, anything from your actual hard drive all the way to your browser and everything in between. So a Loom Bomb is when you would go on the website, the funnel, the ads of the prospective customer that you're looking to talk to. You would say their name, show them their product, and then drop a tip or a trick or a hack or something that they might can think of that would be different. This is a 30 to 45 second video. It doesn't have to be long. And then you send them this Loom video and you say this: if this was helpful, I actually have 3 more ideas that I love to share with you. Is there any way we could hop on a brainstorming call soon? So you're just offering value, Loom Bomb to a brainstorm call. See, watch what happens with your appointment booking rates when you do something like that. Now, the third way is what's called the comment ladder DM. So this is when you intentionally try and create a piece of content that takes a side. It's got a little spice to it. If you know what I'm saying. I actually made a post on LinkedIn this week that had a little bit of spice to it. And I heard from it in the comments, and I heard from it in my DMs too about the spice that I put out there. So you put something with an edge to it, some spice to it, and then you just watch the comments that come on this, and you see if there's anybody in there who actually takes a side to that spice that's comparable to what your product or service is about. And then you send them a DM. Hey, so-and-so, I saw your comment on this post. Mind if I send you a quick idea for your business that I wouldn't be able to post publicly? So you kind of keep the intrigue, the post, the kind of spiciness going on that one. So that's number 3. The fourth one is to present an assessment tool, a quiz funnel or a scorecard. This is where you take some time and you build out some forms, or you use some software like Bucket or Score App to build a quiz funnel, and you kind of position it as an assessment, and you ask some questions in there and build it in a way that it gives off a custom result. And now you're able to go to these prospects in their DMs and say, hey, we have this amazing tool. It's going to give you a score in XYZ area. I'd love to offer it to you for free. Sometimes some of our clients have to pay for this, but I'm going to give you a link where you can book it, use it for free, and it's going to give you great insights. And after you get your insights, if you'd love to hop on a call to go through your results, I'd be happy to do that. Okay. So this is, again, where you're providing what feels, again, like I said at the top of the show, what feels like relevant personalization to them. The last one is the referral chain. This is a client and a friend of mine, Zach Harlow. He always says, book a meeting from a meeting. This is when you go into good meetings and you ask people, do you know two other people you think could benefit from this? Could benefit from the Loom Bomb, could benefit from the assessment, could benefit from a teardown, could benefit from our product. Like, obviously, if they're customers, you should be asking for referrals anyways. So, you can gamify this, you can monetize this. There's lots of different things you can do for the referral chain, but I highly encourage you to have some sort of a way to incentivize other people to help you book meetings. Okay. So now a quick bonus that I want to tell you here is, like, whatever you do and however you write, make sure that your DMs, whichever one of these strategies you're using, you make them feel personal. Use their name, maybe even send them a video when you do it. That helps it feel really personal. Make sure you display curiosity, genuine curiosity, and just make sure you're clear. Make it a simple ask that you're really clear, and avoid the mistakes of sending some long drawn out novels, asking for them to give you their time before you've given them value, and being hyper generic. It's nothing like getting a DM where somebody forgot to put your name in and you see that it's an automated thing that doesn't have your name in it. And it's like, okay, this is cheesy. So again, make sure that you take these things to heart. Sales at the end of the day actually isn't about volume, guys. It's about value. Pick one of these plays. Don't try and run them all. Pick one of these plays, run it for seven days, and watch your calendar fill up. Now, if you end up landing a deal from one of these things I've taught you on this call, shoot me a DM and tell me about it, because that ain't a cold DM. That's a hot DM, if you know what I'm talking about. So hope you got some value out of this. Go crush your sales. And as always, thanks for tuning in to 10 Minute Masterclass. We'll see you on the flip side.